Hello, welcome to TRDR.tv. My name is Robert Sievers. Today we are here with a special guest, Barry Mohan. He is a moderator at AwesomeCalls.com. He also has his own YouTube channel, his own weekly webinar, and he also has his own blog, barrymohan.wordpress.com. How are you doing today, Barry?
I'm great, Rob. How are you?
I'm doing very well. If you'd like access to Barry's information, you can look for him on Twitter. His handle is at BarryMohan81. So let's go ahead and let's get started, Barry.
Sure.
When did you get started in trading? When did you
I've
begin?
been
And
I've been in and out of trading now for I would say about 3 years, but I really got into it full time at the beginning of 2015.
okay,
That's when I closed my construction company that I've had for like 15 years and I started trading full time.
wow, okay. And so why did you decide to make that change from construction to day trading?
My construction business was great, but this gives me access to being at home with my kids.
Oh, okay.
And I was really getting good at it, and I could see obviously that I could make tenfold as much day trading that I could ever do with a regular 9 to 5 job.
Okay, so you're a good dad. And you wanna provide. I completely understand that motivation. Let's go ahead and let's go to Barry's computer because we're doing a screen share today, and so it's unfortunately Barry doesn't have a camera, so we're gonna go and actually watch him do a little bit of trading today while we do the interview, and hopefully we can see some action. Uh, let,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and ask. I was wondering basically why you got into teaching in the first place. So
Actually, when I started trading, I looked around and I searched around for people that would offer any sort of trading, teaching or advice. Most people wanted to sell their stuff.
yeah,
And everybody wants to make a buck on somebody else. And when I started, there was nobody doing it. And once I got to a point or level that I felt confident with my trading that I can share the knowledge, I figured I'm gonna share it out for free as much as I can because it's a great advantage, obviously, to share the wealth of knowledge.
okay. It looks like there's a little bit of a window popping up. I don't know if that's on my end or if that's on your end. But yeah, it sounds like basically, you saw that there was a lack of information available to people, and I did a little research on your bio, and it kind of seemed like. You had a situation similar to a lot of traders. So basically, when you started trading, you ended up losing a little bit of money, but you knew that it was something that kind of something that you had a future in. Something that kind of drew you towards it. And so, regardless of what happened in the beginning, you pulled in all that information and you kind of just went back and hit the books, and then eventually went back to trading again. And so. I guess, my next question is why did you end up choosing to post a lot of this information or becoming a moderator on AwesomeCalls.com? Why did you choose that website specifically?
Actually, I was looking around for a group of traders that I can connect with, and honestly, when I followed at AJ Trader 7 on Twitter, and his calls were always really on point. And when I joined the room, obviously I joined as a member, and I slowly worked my way up until they pretty much offered me a mod position so
Okay.
that I can assist other traders during the day. And so that's how it really started off, where I was just an average trader, and not that I'm above average or anything, but I kind of know what I'm doing, and I make a decent living doing it. And so when I chose that room, it was just because of the way that the way that they promoted themselves and the way that they went about doing their stuff, and they were pretty clearly making consistent calls, and that's why I joined Awesome Calls.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. And for those of you watching, you can see Barry's Twitter just right there. So that gives you access to his webinar, gives you
And
access.
that's this is also a link to Awesome Calls.
Exactly, a link to Awesome Calls as well, and the rest of his information. I believe his YouTube channel is up there as well. So here's actually a look at Awesome Calls, the website, and there are a lot of features that are offered on Awesome Calls, and there's a lot of different plans as well. I was kind of doing a little bit of looking into it before the interview today, and I saw that basically there's a little bit of something for almost everybody. There's something for if you were just looking for one day to kind of get a little idea of what the site entails and some of the different features. It's just $25 and you can check it out. There's a couple of the features right there. And so it looked like, yeah, just for that $25 a day, you can get the live access to the live chat room, live video audio feeds, pre-market game plan, equity and option plays, exclusive market news stream, and then of course you can build from there. There's a couple other different ones, one along the similar lines, but it's $100 for a week. 197 for a month, and then once you start getting into those, I believe they start adding in some extra features. And so I highly recommend if you're looking to get an education in stock markets, this looks like a really great website to go check out. So I just have a couple questions, Barry. What part of the website do you specifically partake in? Are you in the live chat room or?
I am definitely on in the live chat room
Okay.
part of the room, and I make calls during the day, and during the day also I'm also screen sharing and on audio during the day when AJ's not at his desk.
Okay. Excellent.
So, but the room is definitely one to check out, and even with the $25 one day access, it's really a good bang for your buck, especially you get in and if you nail a couple of trades with us, it really pays for itself. There are a lot of members that come in for one day and end up staying for a year because they benefit so much from just being in there one day. Obviously, there are a lot of rooms out there, and choices are wide. But this is the one that I am most confident with.
It's the one that I think I like I said I read a little bit at your bio and it said that that you felt that the call or sorry excuse me that the chat room was a little bit more welcoming than some of the other ones that you had been in. Like you felt that maybe some of the other ones it was kind of easy to get lost in the crowd, and you really felt I'm assuming that it was maybe AJ or one of the other moderators who kind of made you feel, I guess, more at home here. And so I guess that's kind of one of the things that is so special, I guess, about Awesome Calls and about the live chat room.
Yes,
Um,
it is a very comfortable environment, and we're not really uptight about things. As you can see, some of the stuff that's scrolling across is just members and their testimonials and their reviews about the site, and they're all great. Obviously, you do find some people that dislike it. I mean,
of
there are
course.
always people that, that are adverse to things and adverse to change. And we're very new age and live screen, live audio. It's very easy to pick up trades and to speak to people. And there are other mods in there with me, and we're always here to help, and we're always here to give the extra.
Yeah, I saw that there's definitely a lot of testimonials and a lot of reviews. So
Yes.
if you don't believe me, or if you don't believe Barry, you can go check it out for yourself and to see what everybody else has to say, basically
Yeah.
about some of the same things.
Yeah.
So.
Sure. Definitely. Definitely should take a look at it.
Let's go on. So there's also the full 2 year access one, which I thought was pretty funny because you actually get there's actually a chance to go meet AJ in Beverly Hills. I mean, does that happen a lot? I mean, it just seems like that's a very personal kind of feature that you don't see on a lot of day trading education websites. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I've had people that have done it and have gone over there and met AJ personally,
okay.
sat down with him, gone over some stuff, and I think it's a good feature based on the fact that a lot of these rooms are people that kind of live or think they live above other people. And so finding somebody that can really just connect with you directly, it's a really nice thing. And if you get the chance to do it, obviously it's you see that you're actually speaking to a live person, and it's not some sort of a setup type thing.
So you actually have that kind of interactive, almost like a personalized kind of feel to it, and that
Yeah.
feature is, of course, one of the pricier features, but it
Well,
is
yeah.
all inclusive, and that is for a 2 year access. So I do
Right.
believe after 2 years of access to Awesome Calls and hanging out with AJ and Barry, I think that you could probably get a very solid day trading education from that. But
Yes.
awesome. So let's go ahead and let's talk about maybe just the one last feature that I saw on AwesomeCalls.com, and that was the free pre-market game plan blog. And I think that's done by AJ, and so also another good resource to check out if you just want to go ahead and look at some of the resources on Awesome Calls. I believe that one is for free. And so it was updated every day from the last time that I saw, and it just kind of gives a little bit of a strategy as far as the different trades of the day. So if you're looking to get a little idea, I think, of what kind of a trader AJ is and what kind of trades they do at awesomecalls.com, and what kind of trades obviously that Barry's doing as well, then I recommend checking out the blog.
Great.
So let's go ahead and let's move on a little bit. Do you want to talk to us about your weekly webinar?
So my weekly webinar, it really just started off with me trying to help a few people on what I used to use was another streaming site,
Mm-hmm.
and they went out of business. And then I decided that I wanted to really kind of help traders along on a regular basis where I can talk to them about maybe their charts and what trades they did. And so I came up with a weekly webinar that I can really give traders as much help as I possibly can. And so this is my YouTube channel that you can find all my videos on. I did a webinar last night about trading the gaps, either gap up or gap down on a daily chart or intraday chart, whatever. So I did this webinar last night. It was a pretty good webinar. And every Sunday, I also put out a weekly recap video of where I pick 10 stocks that I like for the week, and then I give reasons for entries or exits and price targets based on what I think they're going to do. So I've only started doing this, I would say, for a couple months now, but I've accumulated a decent amount of knowledge here and information that people can check out.
Yeah, there's definitely a bunch of different information on there. Like it's actually kind of funny because I think that when I first started to do a little bit of charting trading myself, I actually looked to your understanding candlesticks video to get my basic knowledge for kind of what candlesticks is. So it's entertaining for me to be interviewing you now because you taught me a little bit of what I know about candlesticks. So I
Oh,
appreciate
great,
that, and I recommend that to our viewers as well. Of course,
great.
something that I did to get a little bit more of an education, and it looks like other people have done as well because there is more than just that up on your YouTube channel as well. I believe there's like some psychology of trading. And like you said before, how there was a video recently, the weekly webinar of how to trade gaps. So there is a lot of information up on there as well if you'd like to get an idea of what kind of trades Barry is doing. Maybe before you really check out his weekly webinar or you go to awesomecalls.com.
Yeah, I definitely recommend when people start trading that they understand what they're getting themselves into. So sometimes some of my webinars may be a little bit harsh as far as like the reality of trading one,
Yeah.
where I really speak about more so the downside of trading,
Okay.
the cons of trading. Everybody always talks about the pros of
Yeah.
trading and how much money you can make, but nobody really honestly gives new traders ideas of how much money they can lose. And so that's what this webinar is kind of focused on, was really I kind of just pinpointed like the dream of trading versus the reality of trading. And it's very important for traders to understand that the downside on trading is very bad. There's a 92% rate that you will fail as a day trader, and that's a pretty high
Yeah.
percentage of failures compared to winners. And then out of that 8%, there's probably only 1 or 2% that are consistently really successful traders. So the odds of being not being a failure, but the odds of not making this work is very high. It's stacked against you.
Yeah, so I mean, it's much better, I think, than to actually give a realistic idea of kind of what to expect once you are learning your basic day trading education. I mean, it's just you're gonna obviously make mistakes and you're gonna lose a little bit of money in the beginning, and that is kind of, I think, the sad reality. But it's just one of the humps I think that you have to get over, and it's I think that it's really important to kind of share that with people that are just beginning their education, because a lot of the websites that you look at these days, you know, they make day trading or investing look very shiny and bright, and like you can make a lot of money 24/7, but that's just not the case. Even for a lot of the professionals, yes, they make money in the long run, but you know, of course, everybody has bad days. And of course, when you're first starting and you're making mistakes, it's going to happen more often than usual. I know that's what happened to me, and I think that's a little bit of what happened to you as well. Kind of when you first got started. It's just basically what I read off of your blog, I think.
Yeah, I was just about to try to pull that up for you on my
Yeah.
blog. That's actually where I started to connect to other people socially.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started to do my first blog was the introduction when I did that was what May 18th, 2015. So this is when I kind of really started getting into the day trading full time. And I wrote a blog really basically introducing myself and talking about some of my past experiences. And I like many traders out there lost a lot when I started day trading, and
Sure. Of
I
course.
had to get back to it. So what I did was when I took my losses, I stepped back and I realized where my mistakes were, and I just wasn't learning the right foundation for trading. And so when I started the blog was really trying to connect to other traders that may be in the same position that I was and try to make them feel more comfortable and that it happens to not just you. You're not the first one that blew up your account or two accounts. You're not the first one that lost your savings. And it kind of just gave a lot of other traders, new traders, up and coming traders, a lot of support basically because it's a scary place to be when you're down and your account's zero or you've blown up two or three accounts. It's a very scary place to be,
Yeah.
and I feel like just by putting out words of encouragement alone, it can help you. And then so I went from this to putting out the after this I started putting out the videos, and then I got into that because then I can actually showcase now like in real time with charts and whatnot how to actually take a trade or exit a trade, or where should you take a trade or exit a trade.
Awesome. Yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
What's that?
It's. I was just asking if there was anything else you wanted to add, but
It just the basic thesis on what I do is I trade. I'm a day trader. This is
mhm.
my job. This is how I put food on my table. You know, pay the bills, and I also just I want to teach. I want to share with people the knowledge that I've gained, and I want to make sure that obviously I can't guarantee that anybody's going to be a successful trader after being with me or spending time with watching my videos or learning stuff with me. Nobody can guarantee success, but at least I can say that I've tried and that I've done my best to help others around me. And it's free. It's my YouTube channel is free. My webinars are free. They're open to anybody from any other room, wherever you're at, and you can come in and try to learn something for yourself. So that way I'm teaching people how to fish really, not so much just to be sheep and follow other people.
Okay. Teaching
Yep.
people kind of how to think for themselves, realize when they're making mistakes similar to the ones that you've made in the past, or that you've learned not to make through watching other people. But yeah, it seems like there is also other resources up on your blog as well. Like there was one, understanding how to execute the trade. Failure to plan is planning to fail, and then one called Human Nature, which I believe was a piece on trading psychology. So there is more than just the introduction to Barry Mohan on his WordPress. there's a couple other pieces of information that you should definitely check out if you'd like to get a better idea of where Barry came from, how he became the trader that he is today. So let me just ask you a couple more questions. What do you recommend for beginners, intermediate, or experts? Like, say for example, I was a beginner and I was just getting into trading and I was looking for an education. Would you recommend the $25 for one day at AwesomeCalls? Would you recommend checking out your YouTube videos first, or would you say just to read the history and your introduction on the blog? Which would you say?
I would say that as a new trader, if you're brand new to trading, you should definitely try to maybe paper trade
Yeah.
first to really get a feel of what the market does, and get a feel of what you should be playing. You should, a new trader, you don't want to first thing get into live trading with real money, because you will lose it. And that's how most traders start, where they'll hit this like beginner's luck type deal, where they'll jump on the market for some reason. Maybe a friend gave them a tip on a stock or something, and they get in, and 2 days later they're making money on it. And then they go take out their entire account and dump it into a trading account, and they lose all of it because they didn't understand what was going on, or why that trade was working in the first place. It could have just been beginner's luck, and a lot of people lose all their money because of that. So I would definitely recommend, if you are new to trading and you do join the room or decide to learn about trading, that you should paper trade for a while and get your confidence up and understand why a trade is going against you or with you, understand why a trade is supposed to work. I'm a very technical trader, so everything that I do is based on technical analysis, where there are formations or patterns that I look for, and that support my thesis on the direction of a play. Obviously, no trade is going to be guaranteed, and nobody can guarantee you a perfect trade. But in learning what you should learn from the get-go is going to support your long-term career as a trader. And I strongly advise that anybody that really wants to get into trading take a step back and learn first before they just jump into it with real money.
I agree. Do you offer a paper trading accounts on awesomecalls.com? Is that one of the features that you?
No, no.
Okay.
AwesomeCalls.com is a chat room. You would have, for a paper trading account, you would have to sign up with a platform, either like TD
Oh,
or
so you can do it through the
Scottrade.
through the brokers. Okay,
Right,
I
through the
got you.
brokers, you would get a paper trading account. Actually, when I started off, I didn't even know there were actual virtual trading accounts, and I used to look at charts, and I'd write down on my notepad, okay, I entered here with a stop here, and then I'd paper trade it, literally
Yeah,
paper
that's
trade it
literally
on my
paper trading.
notepad. And then I just realized that, hey, there's a virtual side to this, and I never knew about that. But you definitely need to paper trade to get into this world. It's not something that you want to play with. I have people that have shown me accounts where the numbers would astound you, how much they've lost, and it's scary. It's a very, very scary environment.
Yeah.
I have this DWTI chart up. It's obviously a live trade that I'm in currently right now. I shorted this DWTI, which is a oil inverse stock, at it's an ETF actually, at $450, and the price currently is at $368.
Wow.
So
So yeah,
it's almost 100 points on this short
it's
trade.
been dropping a lot just since we've been talking, because I think when we started it was around 400, and
Yeah, it was
yeah.
just around 400 when we were talking, yeah. And I told you, I think I told you exactly, this thing's going down lower. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it
so
was a good call.
technically I'm looking for it to bounce somewhere around 360, somewhere around there, but we'll see.
Okay. Awesome. And then can we see some of these? Are these trades going to be posted a little bit later on YouTube, or will they be maybe done in
You
the
know
live
what? I
room?
didn't record. I didn't record this one. Obviously, I should have.
It's okay. We got the recording.
This is what you do. But I didn't record. I don't record all my trades. I do
Okay.
sometimes every now and then record a trade. But just it's more like to show a reference to something as to why I got into something. But I don't record them during the day. Just it would be too much. I do trade a lot during the day. So sometimes I'm in and out of a trade before I can even alert it. Sometimes, especially if it's a scalp trade or something that's going parabolic or something like that, then I'm in and out of a trade really quickly.
Uh,
But this one was posted live in my room at $450 short, so there's definitely going to be a chart up for this one tonight with timestamps.
all right. We'll look
Yes.
forward to it.
Yes.
So let me. I mean, I guess you kind of answered a little bit of the question with explaining WTI. But what kind of assets do you specialize in? Do you typically trade?
I really do like just I don't do options.
Okay.
I don't do forex. I don't do future trading. I just basically day trade. I'm in and out of trades. Basically, if some of my money is in swing trading, which is basically like a 3 to 5 day hold, depends on the chart how it's moving.
Okay.
But most of my trades are a day trade where I start trading at pre-market 9:30, and then I pretty much exit all cash in my account at close.
Okay.
So I'm pretty much 90% day trading, and then I do swing some stuff every now and then. This one, I may end up holding some of it for more downside because the daily chart here is signaling to me that it's gonna have more downside,
Okay.
and that's pretty much how I trade.
Okay. Thank you. Well, if I believe that's the majority of the time that we have for today. Is there anything else that you wanted to add before we go today, Barry? You want to talk a little bit more about some of the strategy that goes into choosing or to deciding when you're gonna to pull out of the this stock individually right here or.
Well, like this one right here,
Mm-hmm.
this one was a break of an uptrend
Mm-hmm.
to the upside here. And so this purple line here represents the 50-day exponential moving average. And once the price came under that, that was my signal to short and risking above that. So my risk was about maybe about 6 points to the upside, 6 or 7 points to the upside for a gain. And I was really looking for that 400 mark. This is just really just icing on the cake here. This
Yeah.
is the 30 points icing on the cake here. So this is turning out to be probably the biggest short that I've ever done in my life. I mean, this is 50, 60, 70, 80 points short right now if I was to cover this position. So this would officially be the biggest short that I've ever taken, and I guess it's recorded with you guys, so
Yeah.
it's a twofold.
Awesome. It was a good day for the interview then, you know? It's
It was a great day,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
You got a
I
twofer.
wish we could have gotten it when I just got into the trade, so
Yeah.
then you could actually see my fills, and that would have been nice. But at this point, it's already past that.
Well, the next time, if you get the chance, we'd love to see some of your content live on Trader TV. And if you use some of the software, it's actually easy to record. And if you can actually have like a 45-second past delay, so that if something happens, you can click a button and it will have saved the last like 45 seconds of the trade. Just
Okay.
a little tip if you feel like using that. So at some point, I'm sure you have your own software, but if you feel like changing at some point, we'd love to see some of your content up on Trader TV. And yeah, so I think that's the majority of the time we have for today. It was awesome to watch you trade and to watch you do one of the best shorts that I've ever seen, and that I'm glad to hear that that you pulled off as well. So thank you very much for joining us, and I wish you the best of luck for the rest of the week.
Thank you very much, Robert.
Thank you, Barry. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you very much for joining us here at Trader TV. That was Barry Mohan. His Twitter handle is at Barry Mohan 81. So please go ahead and check out some of his content, either on YouTube or on his blog, or if you have the chance, definitely to check out AwesomeCalls.com as well. Thank you very much for joining us, and I wish you the best of luck in your trades and your trading education. Thank you.